and more controversies as we move closer to the 2023 elections. Tonight we speak with the former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose. And today, the governor of Rivers State, Wike, has pledged to give logistic support to the Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloye in Abuja. Let's begin tonight's program by first and foremost letting you know that it is exactly 100 days to the 2023 elections, and as we begin our countdown to the very crucial election in Nigeria, INEC says it is determined that it will conduct a credible election. Almost 90 million voters are on the register, with the stakes perhaps higher than ever before in the last 6 or 7 election cycle in the Nigeria's political history. Well, Nigeria is the continent's largest nation, perhaps the largest set of people that will be voting on the continent too. So it's going to be a very, very interesting and crucial race. Out of 18 candidates, who will be Nigeria's next president? The race is not a 100-meter dash, but 100 days away, and we'll begin counting from tonight. Count with me, Nigeria, and let's anticipate. Hashtag Nigeria decides. Let's first and foremost tell you about what happened on the street of Abuja and Lagos today, where Professor Patutomi and other members of the Big Tent Coalition and members of the Obidati movement are asking the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to decentralize the distribution of permanent voter cards for voters to have easy access to collection points. The group made a call at a rally at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. The group is also asking the electoral umpire to allow eligible voters who are unable to collect their permanent voter cards before the day of elections next year to vote, since the system is driven by biometrics. Let me allow you to listen directly from the leaders of the rallies which took place in Abuja and Lagos simultaneously.
And so today we want to participate in a democratic exercise, an exercise of expressing our views in freedom to the people who man the Electoral Commission, and to say to them that they have the possibility of having their names crafted in gold for all of posterity if they would only give everything they have to ensure, one, that all of those who have registered to vote receive their PVCs. Secondly, to understand that the process that they have embarked on is a biometric process. In fact, you should not need your PVC to vote because you have been captured. Your biometrics are in the system. If you show up on election day without any PVC, by the time your finger prints are seen, your face is seen, automatically it should be able to say you are the person who registered. And so we are saying to the leaders of INEC today, and we'll present them a formal letter, it is time to make democracy work for Nigeria.
We have demands and we have requests by the Nigerian youth, the aged, the Nigerian women, the Nigerian undertrodden, who are demanding that they have come out in large numbers to register for the election in 2023. And so therefore, they are requesting and demanding that their PVC will be made available to them to enable them exercise their franchise
Immediately.
Anything short of that is totally unacceptable.
That's the Big Tent rally which took place simultaneously in Abuja and Lagos cities today. Well, there's a whole lot for us to track for you because a lot is happening which you need to catch up on as elections approach and the political activities are very much intense. Let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
Ahead of the 2023 elections, the presidential candidate of Accord Party, Professor Chris Imumalen, has said that education and security will be the topmost priority of his administration if elected into office. He was speaking at a dialogue organized by the Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja. He explains that education remains the bedrock of national development, peace and stability.
As it is today, we have about 6.5% budget for education in a country that have over 18.5 million people out of education, out of school.
The lawmaker representing Mangu Boko's federal constituency in the House of Representatives, Mr. Solomon Marin, has described the incessant and unabated spate of killings and attacks in his constituency in Plateau State as ugly and barbaric, and urges security agencies and the federal government to curb the menace to forestall the continued loss of life and property. Mr. Marin says in the last 3 weeks alone, over 30 persons have been killed and properties worth millions of naira destroyed by suspected herders armed with sophisticated weapons and ammunition in Mangu Boko's federal constituency. The People's Democratic Party has inaugurated its campaign council in the Federal Capital Territory, asking all its supporters to deliver the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and all other contestants in the National Assembly elections next year. The campaign council flag-off was attended by the PDP chairman in the FCT, Mr. Christopher Zaka, the senator representing the FCT, Senator Philip Aduda, and several other party members. The Cross River State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, APC, is calling on aggrieved members of the party in the state to withdraw all lawsuits and support all the candidates contesting in the 2023 elections. Addressing the peaceful protest by members of the APC support groups who are calling for the suspension of a chieftain of the party, Mr. John Owan Eno, for anti-party activities, the state deputy chairman of the party, Mr. Eka Williams, notes that the party in the state is working to reconcile all aggrieved members. The Zamfara state coordinator of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Kabiru Marfa, has met with traditional leaders in the state to mobilize support for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawale. Keep the peace in your politicking, or you along with your foot soldiers would face the full wrath of the law. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Usman Alkali Baba, has warned politicians to maintain peace during their politicking or be ready to face the full wrath of the law. The police boss said this at a meeting with political parties and other stakeholders in preparation for the 2023 general elections at the force headquarters, Abuja. According to the Inspector General of Police, the meeting became necessary as the police has noted 52 cases of politically motivated violence across 22 states in the country since the official commencement of campaigns for the 2023 elections on 28 September 2022.
I wish to appeal to the leadership of all political parties here seated to be determined to show the right leadership, virtues, and publicly disassociate themselves from acts of political brigandage and violence, as this is the only way we can reassure our citizens.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is calling on journalists across the country to put national security first in their reportage during the 2023 general elections. INEC National Commissioner Vote Education, Mr. Festus Okoye, made the remarks while delivering his keynote address at a one-day workshop to educate correspondents from media organizations with the knowledge on election reporting.
There you go, you've been served with your political roundup stories. Now, let's tell you what happened today in Rivers State, perhaps a precursor to what we shall be discussing tonight. Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State continued with his project commissioning, and today the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, was his guest. Governor Wike took a swab at some members of his party over the manner in which power is being shared in the PDP. Take a listen to what he has to say when he was responding to a comment on whether or not there is a tilt in the spread of political appointments at the very top in the national level.
When I hear people go to town hall meetings and they say all kinds of things they say they will implement restructuring. They will make sure that every zone will have a member in the security council. That it is not good for one zone to produce all the security chiefs. You see, it is not good, but it is good for one zone to occupy all party positions. You see how Nigerians are. You see how we are. I will implement that every zone will be represented. I will implement. That is town hall meeting. That is debate on television. Because everybody wants Nigerians. Oh yes, he said the right thing. But no Nigerian want to say, let us start from this one now. Let us start from this one. Starting from this one, we will know what you will do when you get there. It's not true. Don't be so. Start from the party.
After saying that, he had a few things to say about his guest, Mr. Peter Obi, and what he will do for him should he consider campaigning in Rivers State.
As a person, you have all the criteria, you have all the characteristics that will lead this country. You have it. Nobody can deny that from you. You have it. All I pray is for God to give you the strength, to give you the wisdom, and continue to move from one state to the other. Each time, anytime you want to come to campaign in the state, let me know. All the logistic support we will give to you.
That perhaps is a controversial one. I mean, whatever angle you may be looking at it, was the guest also had a few things to say. He has his own side of the story. I'd like you to listen to Mr. Peter Obi and some of the comments he made.
Next year's election will be based on capacity, ability to deliver. You see what Wike is saying now? He's doing this job because he has the mental energy and physical energy. It is not retirement home. We have to deal with it. So I assure you of our commitment. I assure you of our commitment to a better Nigeria. We will continue to work with the good people of Rivers State. Take me as one of yours. Take me as one of you. I belong to you. That he believes in what I'm doing. This man is a famous man who invested his money in education. He doesn't have investment like others do, where we don't know what they are doing. Two of us, we know what we are doing. They know our age. They know the school we attended. Nothing in us. I'm not saying we are perfect, but you know you go to school. Once you have 75, you have A. Even if you have 90, still A, which means you are allowed some small mistake. But don't get that and be saying you pass. Two of us get A. And
well, another controversial statement there. It does look like Rivers State today saw a lot of controversial statements, but well, you know, this is a political period. A lot of controversies and intrigues been thrown up when you have political conversations. But let's get into the conversation tonight. My guest is a former governor of Ekiti State, former Governor Ayodele Fayose. He joins us live from Ikeja, GRA Ikeja area of Lagos. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight. Let's begin the conversation by, first and foremost, thank you, it's good to see you. Let me get your view. I know you are a supporter of Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. You are on the camp. If that is the right word to describe where you belong in the divide in the PDP, and you saw what he said. A lot of people who have been following might be able to read in between the lines as to what Governor Nyesom Wike has said. What exactly is going on in your party? I know that you say it the way it is, and the Nigerians will be expecting you to do that the same, except if the Fayose that I know has changed in the last few years. What exactly is going on?
Well, Shehu, let me thank you because of your several invites, which I said to you, I don't want to talk now on the happenings in Nigeria and our party. But today I'm here and I want to thank Nigerians and all our well-wishers for their support. Well, your question is very straightforward. You said you were trying to find out whether I am a supporter of Governor Nyesom Wike. That is public knowledge, and it comes without apologies. It is public knowledge, and by the grace of God, I don't betray trust. I remain with people indefinitely, forever, and I stand with Nyesom Wike. Yes, no man is perfect. Like me, like others, we have our flaws, and we learn from them. Notwithstanding, I've always said that Wike is a man with a good heart. I've always said in my conversation with people that Wike is a very straightforward man. Whatever we go through in politics today is a product of the people around us. What they do to us, especially when you give your best in circumstances, and at the end of the day, they stab you at the back. It's like a dog that comes when you are back home and start running around you, jumping around you, and someday that dog starts barking and trying to attack you. Something must have gone amiss. Something must have gone wrong. So for me, without apologies, I am Wike's friend, and I'm one of the people that can talk to Governor Wike. And even when people might have come and gone, he will invite me over, bear his mind, we share times, and I will express myself. During my last visit to Port Harcourt, I was able to talk in a manner as to make sure that this party comes together, despite my own personal pains against the party. And I pleaded with the people around the candidates and around Governor Wike, particularly around the candidates, because Governor Wike is not contesting to be president. To remember so many people in the corridors of power that destroyed the throne. Let me say to you, I maintain that position till tomorrow. A lot of people knows when Wike comes around. When this matter is resolved, they will be displaced. You will recall that most of the people with the candidates today, there are people who at different times have either done something wrong to Governor Wike or has done things that they cannot return there. And for that gap, they don't want it to close. Let me start by telling you, one of the greatest joy to my heart will be the PDP coming together. I am, by the grace of God, a 62-year-old man. I'm not looking for, come and give me this, come and give me appointment. I can't go and stand before any president again and be doing presentation in the council. No, that time is gone. I've had fair opportunity to serve Nigeria.
Governor Fayose, let me apologies to jump in. So let's get it clear tonight, because it's an evening to hit the nail on the head. Are you supporting Atiku Abubakar for president? Because you're a member of the PDP, or have you left?
Take it again. Atiku Abubakar is the candidate of the PDP. And he remains the candidate of the PDP. And beyond that, let me say this to you. My son, my biological son, is contesting under the PDP. But that will not stop me from saying the truth where necessary. When I left office in 2018, some said Fayose will be in jail forever because Buhari will put him there. Today, Buhari is on his way out. I'm still here. I was one of the lonely voice, one of the voices that you can talk about in Nigeria there and there. I didn't shy away at talking to power, looking up and telling them this is not right. If there's somebody that has spoken to power in Buhari's administration, I should be I should be the person particularly. So let me say to you, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, remains the candidate of the party. And I've not heard Governor Wike or any of the 5 governors around him saying he's not the candidate of the party. I am a PDP man. But that does not say, sir, that I will not bear my mind where necessary.
The reason why I ask again is that it's public. Mr. Fayose, it's public. The position of some of the governors and some of those leaders of the PDP who are on the side of Governor Wike, they've made it clear that they will not join in the campaign of Atiku Abubakar. They will support the PDP on the ground, but at the center, they will not support Atiku Abubakar. They've said that, but it does look like recently Governor Wike had also said that they were looking to reconciliation, and Mr. Atiku Abubakar has also said that he's looking forward to that. But I would like you to answer the question straight up. Are you a supporter of Atiku Abubakar? I know you're a member of the PDP, you have said it tonight, but would you be voting Atiku Abubakar? Are you supporting him? Are you rooting for him? Would you campaign for Atiku Abubakar?
So it implies when somebody is the candidate of your party and my son is contesting, I will remain with the PDP. In my state, I will root for PDP. And today, Atiku Abubakar is the leader of the party by reasons of his position as the candidate of the party. And let me go a little further, remind you again that I said my son is running. Even if I hate Atiku Abubakar, I don't think I will hate my son. So let us balance that and get it clear. And I have not heard Governor Wike said His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is not the candidate of the party. And let me say to you very quickly, Sheung, that was why I gave very clear explanation when I started. Something is wrong and needs to be addressed. Sheung, in 2019, Governor Wike supported Governor Tambuwal of Sokoto. And the same Governor Tambuwal contested against Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar won that election, won the primaries, and secondly, in 2022, he won again. So, Wike gave his best. I was an insider to support Atiku, to support Tambuwal. When Tambuwal lost, Wike went out of his way. I was privy to everything that happened, support, mobilization of so many states, and to the campaign of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. There is nothing myself and Governor Wike don't talk about. And the election was seamless. Everything was done. Even after the campaign, after the election, Governor Wike still stood by the party to realize that mandate. Let me say to you, Wike has not said anywhere till today that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is not. But he said very expressly, if you don't need me, I can't campaign for you.
Okay, so let me again ask. Quickly. So because there is something that is going around.
Let me round up that area. You're talking about reconciliation. Reconciliation is not about words. Wike is not contesting to be president again, minimally in this contest. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is the one contesting. He needs more effort than we are putting into it. Wike, it is he that, it is he that is hot that raises his voice. If they want peace with Wike, it's very easy. I've heard severally, they say, we want peace, we want reconciliation. Reconciliation will not come by words of mouth. So many committees have visited Rivers. So many committees have visited Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So many BOT has visited. All this, that has visited. What has come out of it? When you beg the story, when you leave the story untold properly, you cannot get justice without saying the truth. Even if you don't like Wike, Wike is saying it is wrong for the candidate to come from the north. It is wrong for the chairman of a party to come from the north. It is wrong for the DG to come from the north, and so on and so forth. You don't need Wike to take actions about that. You don't need reconciliation to take actions about that. There are what we call action, and there are what we call stories. What is happening in the PDP today is more of story than action. And let me say this, with all respect to the national chairman, we cannot deny. People will come up and say, Wike drove away Secondus. I was a supporter, a staunch supporter of Secondus. But don't let us forget the fact. The same Wike, by the grace of God and his colleagues, brought the current chairman. Sir, would we wish away all these governors because of a national chairman? I have nothing against the national chairman.
I have a few follow-ups on that, but before we go on that break, because a few things that I would like you to clarify. One of it is the fact that I want to know where you stand, because the talks on the street of Lagos and in Ekiti is that you have an allegiance to the candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, and that you are rooting for him. You have said it clearly that you will support a southern candidate. And let's clarify that first and foremost. Are you a supporter of Bola Tinubu?
Yes, so let me just, you have brought up 2 or 3 issues in one question. Let me say to you, is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar or Tinubu a supporter of each other's party when we saw them in Abuja sitting together? Is Atiku supporting APC or Tinubu supporting PDP? Don't let us go there. Let me tell you, if people are expecting me to be abusing Tinubu to show that I am not supporting him, I will not do that. I have not seen one, I cannot count 1, 2, 3, 4 northerners or governors, even with the low level of Buhari's government, that has insulted Buhari or come out to attack Buhari for one day. I have not seen a northerner or people that has come to attack Atiku. But in here, to achieve our goals, I must go out and be insulting Tinubu.
But the point is, Dr. Fayose, you have said it clearly.
I will not
that you stand.
Come out
you
and
will only stand for a southern candidate in 2023.
I will come to that.
So that's the reason. So you are not denying Bola Tinubu. Are you supporting? Who are you supporting? Are you standing with Bola Tinubu, or you are standing with your candidate?
You want Nigerians to get the facts. So let us get it to them. I just said it to you. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the candidate of the PDP. My son is contesting. And I'm saying to you, if this is the only way to demonstrate to everybody is that I am Bola Tinubu's enemy, is to come out as a Yoruba man and insult Bola Tinubu, I will not do it. I will never do it. Listen to me. Atiku Abubakar and Bola Tinubu are over 70-year-old leaders. Why were they sitting together to rub minds? They are probably after Buhari number 1 and number 2 in this country. They didn't carry cutlasses against each other. Count me out of that. When we get matured in life, we do things better. I stand here to say, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu remains a Yoruba leader of note. Alhaji Abubakar remains a Nigerian leader of note, a northern leader of note. I am not going to go and be insulting Atiku, and I'm not going to insult Bola Tinubu. It is only God that gives power. If anybody is expecting me to come and do damage control because I said he's the son of the South, I will not do such damage control. May I say to you, I supported Wike because he's a Southerner. Because I want power to shift from the north to the south. Because, and more to the fact, Buhari has served Nigeria 8 years using the northern what do I call it now? Slot, in my view, as a leader in this country. There is a rotational presidency in our country. And let me say this to you. Part of the demands of Governor Wike and co, and even before I go there, this you might not want to, this might not be in public domain, but let me bring it to public domain. And anybody who says I'm telling lies can come here and deny it. Now, let me say to you, sir, the 16 delegates in Ekiti, I told them vote for Wike because if it's only one vote that they give to me because of my name, and Wike loses by one vote, I will have betrayed trust. I didn't hide it at all. But let me quickly go to what I said now. When I went to Wike and some of the governors that were supporting Governor Wike, part of their demand is this, that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is 76. So that the South will not feel somehow that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar should do only one tenure. Then it will be 80 years. Then it will be able to tell our people to say that, okay, only one tenure. We can still tolerate it. So that it will not be 8 years of the North and 8 years of another of North again, making 16 years. May I say to you, with all humility, politics, party politics does not say you should not be able to say what is right and what is wrong. I am not against anybody, but I'm speaking for posterity. All I said about Buhari came to pass. You cannot deny that. You can't take that away from me.
Dr. Fayose, let's take a break. We are due for a break. But when we come back, our conversation will continue with you. There are a few things that we need to discuss. Are you supporting Atiku Abubakar as a candidate of your party because your son is in the race, or there are other reasons? And the fact that those who say that Fayose is angry with the PDP because Atiku and a few people did not come to his state to campaign during the election, during the governorship election in Ekiti. We'll get some clarification when we come back from this break. Stay with me, everyone. The conversation with former Governor Fayose continues after this break. We'll be right back. So much, everyone, for staying with us right here on the program. Don't forget, our countdown begins today to the 2023 presidential and National Assembly election. It's exactly 100 days to the election day, and we'll begin the countdown. Count with me, Nigeria. Hashtag Nigeria Decide. We will be giving you a coverage like no other network can give. Is the nation's political and election headquarters, the nation's #1 network for news, Channels Television. Stay with us, everyone. It's 100 days, and we've started counting, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation with my guest tonight. As a former governor of Ekiti State, Governor Ayodele Fayose, speaking about the state of affairs in the PDP and race for the #1 seat for Nigeria, the presidency. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Governor Ayodele Fayose, for talking to us tonight. Let's get back, and I was trying to get a clarification from you, and whether the reasons behind your own supporting Atiku coming out to say, because it's a bit confusing, you have said, oh, Atiku is the candidate of the PDP, and so you are, and your son is a candidate also in the election. And those who will say, oh, that is the reason why Fayose is going to be supporting Atiku. Other than that, he will not support Atiku, because the reason is a personal reason, because his son is in the race. Other than that, Fayose has said that he's going to root for a southern candidate, which you have said clearly. And those who are, who have also criticized to say, look, Fayose is supporting Tinubu and is working for Tinubu. Those are the words on the street.
Well, I have sought that out, Sheon. I've told you, a lot of people will continue to blackmail you, but I can't be bothered about that. But I've said to you very expressly that this Fayose What they want me to do is to come out and insult Tinubu and call him names. I will never. I will not do that to Atiku Abubakar as well. And I will not do that to Governor Wike. Let us come to issues. Who can fix this country? Our party has issues. Let us resolve the issue and move forward. Let me equally say to you, part of the good intention of Governor Wike on the Ekiti issue, even before the primaries, was to make sure that we win that election. He gave us the necessary support. And I am still telling you, despite the differences between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Governor Wike, he's still in his good thoughts, good intention to support Ekiti, to support us to win election there. So let me equally say to you, my son contesting or not contesting, I am a leader, I'm a party man. What I'm supposed to do in this coming election, I will do. So that's my position on that.
So are you making a commitment tonight that you will work, you will campaign, you will root, and you will vote for Atiku Abubakar as the candidate of your party?
Shehu, that is given. That has been said.
All right.
You see,
that's clear. I think we should move on from that.
Let me call it, bring your attention to this. And Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, if he's watching this program, will remember that when I was invited to see him in Lagos, I told him I'm going to tell Governor Wike. And I told Governor Wike, and I told Governor Wike, and Governor Wike said I should go there. And for Governor Wike's words were that everything we need to do to make sure this thing works, we should do it. This is about 4 weeks ago. I was there with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I don't want to make our private meeting public. Most of the things I'm saying on the television now were the things I said to him. Wike is your brother. Some people will say if you go to Rivers, don't go to Rivers, don't go to Rivers. Those people don't want you to be the leader of this country. They don't want you to win election. You've been to Rivers in and out. Majority of the people around our candidates have issues with Governor Wike. That is why you see this crisis lingering, discouraging the candidate. And I want to say, that was why I told you, I don't hate the national chairman. But I want to say, you can't wish away all these governors, all these leaders in a party. In 2015, 5 governors left this party. I recall very well that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar left, Bukola Saraki left, Tambuwa left, and a number of them left. It didn't end well for the party. We must not allow history to repeat itself. Wike is not contesting election. Don't continue to adjudge Wike and Atiku as if one is in APC, one is in PDP. We need Wike to be on board with us. Wike's demands are not personal. Wike is not saying bring a national chairman from South-South. Wike is not saying I want to pick the national chairman. Some people went to the street and said, well, if we concede to Wike, it will be an insult to the North. Some people will say if we concede to Wike, he will say he want to ask for another thing. I don't agree with them. Wike will be in the eye of a storm if he changes gear after asking for that. Politics is about give and take. Politics is about give and take. Let me remind you of a story of a man. He said, I grabbed 10 things and I was running. People were running after me. I threw 2 of them down. They were scrambling for that. I kept running. They kept running after me. I threw down another one. I got home with 6 or 7. You are using 6 to rule 4. Atiku Abubakar, you have more than 6 in your hands. These demands are nothing other than what a statesman will say. The national chairman will not stay in the gap for all those who are not happy today. And as a statesman, the national chairman should know the importance of saying, even if there is no crisis, I can give up my position for peace. That is not a sacrifice too much. What can Atiku do? Atiku can't force you. Atiku can't say you must do this. And let me say to you, Atiku Abubakar himself told me that I wish I have power to take these actions. I don't have. But if Atiku Abubakar doesn't have, the national chairman has helped you to win this election, you should equally allow him to become the president of Nigeria.
All right. Governor Fayose, let me quickly get you to some other matters. You tweeted recently to say that you see more serious turbulence more than ever before, and you have given your own advice tonight on how the crisis in your party can be resolved. But let me paint something, because you're a very experienced politician, and you've been on the ballot for election in Nigeria, either for Senate, twice for governorship, and so you understand the dynamics of politics in Nigeria. And the dynamics this time around is different from the 2019 election. There wasn't as strong a third leg as we saw, as we're seeing now, with the force that Peter Obi is bringing in the race, and also seeing what Rabi Musa Kongwanso is also doing. That means the race is no longer be a two-horse race, like we've always seen in 2015, in 2019, and in some other election cycle. If anything, the governor of Anambra State said, Professor Charles Soludo, he said that if I were Asiwaju Tinubu, I would even give Peter Obi money as someone heading one of the departments of his campaign, because Obi is making Tinubu's pathway to victory much easier by indirectly pulling down PDP. Now, do you fear that the pathway for your party is going to be slightly more difficult than 2019? And the fact that for those who are postulating to say Tinubu might be ahead of your candidate in the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, what are your permutations?
You see, let me say to you again, I am a PDP member. I'm a leader in this party, but I've always said to you, you can't survive a storm when you hide the truth. Obi is a danger to watch out for. I don't believe Obi will make 25% in two-thirds of a federation, in 24 states. I don't believe Obi will make 25%. I am not against Obi. I love him, and it's a very vibrant leader. I don't believe, because of my own permutation as I affirmation. But with God, nothing shall be impossible. But let me now say, Obi is more of a chronic cancer to PDP. That's no denying. Let me give you my analysis. In the Southwest here, people might not like to hear that. They might say, Fayose is this. I don't see how PDP wants to win in the Southwest. Anybody deceiving us can continue to deceive us. I don't see how PDP will win in the Southeast. The South-South will be a combination of all interests. Let me now come back to the key states of the North. Without deceiving ourselves, there's so much work to be done in North Central. Both PDP and APC has picked no candidate either as president or vice president in Northwest, which is Kaduna and so on and so forth. Leaving the Northeast. The Northeast is where you have the candidate of the APC and Yobe and what's it called now? Yobe and
State
Borno,
and Adamawa State
and so on. Then we give Adamawa State to our party. But don't forget, I say another Kwankwanso who is a semi-cancer.
All right.
That can equally on stage figures in the North. Even if they want to support us in the North, it's not that they will be PDP will be running with the votes there.
All right, Governor Fayose, yeah.
Reconciling or negotiating with Obi will be a good thing. Finding a way to make peace with these wicked people too would be a good thing. But
Governor Fayose, we're totally out of time now. Yeah. But I must sincerely thank you. I was going to ask you what your next political plan is, but I guess that will be for the next conversation next time. But I must sincerely thank you.
When you ask me of my next week, have I finished the one that I'm doing? I'm still in the business.
It's good to
But
see
my
you,
own is
Dr.
not to be
Fayose.
struggling for power and all that anymore.
Thank
for
you
us
so
to make
much
sure that the
indeed for your
country
time
is in good
tonight.
shape.
I
God bless you.
It's good to see you. Thank you so much indeed. That's a conversation with Governor Ayodele Fayose, former governor of Ekiti State. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again at 7 p.m. God bless Nigeria. And let's stand by for Election 101 in 5.